Of the No1 Podcast. I am your host, Coach Jake. Hope you guys are doing good. Just waiting for everybody to roll in. What's up, Danielle Guerrero, Batman, Doug Greatest 6, Elif Yaron, Konak, Finelli Joe. Yeah, give me number one. What's up, Morgan Gilo, EJH? Hit me up in the comments. Give me some number one. Give me some love. I've been up since like 2:30 my time. I was just in Tampa yesterday judging the first ever shoot show, although I wouldn't say it's totally shoot, but they're getting there. Division Pro, following in the footsteps that I laid out. They honored me with having me come in and judge. Really great show. Marina Shafir and Karen Tran were on the main event. They did a great job. I can't wait for the post-production to be put together so you guys can see it. Now, I hope you guys are good. Finn, thanks for the number one. What's up, Stellar Steven? Uh-oh, I'm missing this. I'm not Junior Maki, number one. Low Life. No, Silverback, give me a number one. Thank you, brother. What's up, Mountain Man Mong? Happy to see you guys. Pokey Brows. Who else is in here? Kohler, Tristan Baum, Bo Porter. All right, today, man. If you want to ask me about the Division Pro show, it was really great. You may not have heard about it. I put a little clip on my socials, the flight out there. I literally flew out yesterday, did the show last night, flew back this morning. I've been up since about 2 a.m. my time. Still have to go do client sessions today, some 10X business coaching I got to do. But before that, I thought I'd jump in because there has been crazy shit going on in the world of combat sports. TKO, okay, Endeavor owns UFC, owns WWE, and I guess we need to talk about ethics. Ethics. In fact, I think I'm going to make my next edition of my book, Sportify, about business ethics and good sportsmanship. Because, man, Vince McMahon, where do we start? Everybody in the chat, give me your feelings on Vince McMahon. It's so ridiculous. Danny H6, front headlock, ass roll for backside, take to side control, north-south, chin strap pin. Do it. I love it. I love it. I don't know the ass roll for backside, take to but I do like the front headlock to half ouch, chin strap to a pin, a lot. Silverback martial arts. Vince is about to go to jail. LOL, dude. Man. Okay, so let's unpack all of this disaster. Have you guys heard what's going on? It's hard if you've been living under a rock. Maybe you have not heard what's been going on with Vince Jr. I'm changing my lighting here. Make it a little less burning. Danny H6, spinning armbar off chin strap, guillotine, or anaconda. Dude, are you telling me? Are you asking me? I don't know what's going on. I like it all. I love all of that. Sounds great. Now, I want to talk about business ethics, right? Danny H6, or Darce, or necktie. Okay, bro. Go to town. Send me a video. You guys, do you notice that I want to share your stuff? Collaborate, and if it's good, I will post it. Okay? Silverback, what's up, Morgan? He's a maniacal genius, but holy shit, he's the king of controversy. Time for the WWE to officially put Hunter in complete charge of the company. Yeah, man. So let's talk, a lot of times I talk about tactical stuff, whether it's wrestling or business. And in fact, sometimes I go to strategic stuff. But I think we need to talk about sportsmanship and ethics, and in particular, business ethics. It all ties in together. All right, Stellar Steven. Awkward timing after the Netflix deal and Rock joining the board. I mean, awkward or good timing, right? Because they had those, but they got those deals done, and then all the crap, no pun intended, started rolling. Okay. Now, sometimes in wrestling, in business, and the wrestling business as well, the biggest smackdowns happen outside of the ring, and boy, oh boy. So let's talk about these McMahon allegations, right? In terms of kind of a lesson in accountability. There's this woman making these claims, if you haven't heard, that basically he like McMahon, and I'm sorry, man, I don't know how else to broach this subject without being gross, okay? I just don't know. Let's see. What's up, Christopher Martin? Sick. Yeah, he is sick, if you're talking about McMahon. I don't know who you are, Facebook user. It doesn't tell me. Is this Matt? Great weekend in St. Pete? Yeah, I think it is. And then what else we got? Vince is one of the best or worst things to ever happen to the business. So do you guys know what happened? Because I don't even want to say what happened. It's so gross. Oh my gosh. It's so gross, dude. So Vince had another one of these women, these sexual affairs, and the allegations are she's claiming it was sex trafficking and rape and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to be real. It looks like, if you look at the texts, it looks like it was consensual. She's saying she was having a hard time and he had financial power over her, which is like, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to accept the cars or the fancy penthouse apartment or any of that stuff. Or, I mean, and it sounds like it was like a threesome or something. So there's another witness that it just looks like it's a smear campaign. No pun intended. Oh my God, this is so gross. You're going to get all my jokes, like about the crap jokes and about smear in the allegation. And I hate even to bring up this nonsense. She says that during a three-way, he pooped on her head. And then he went and climbed up and insisted she continue with the other male partner in the threesome while he cleaned up, and he came back and continued for another 90 minutes. Okay, so it's super gross. It's like ridiculously gross. That said, this is just this guy has had these problems over and over again. During the merger, there were all this unaccounted money that he was paying these women that were coming out of the woodwork kind of during that Me Too hysteria era. And, I want to talk about accountability here, man. Whether he's guilty or not. I'm a person that believes, our whole society needs massive reform. Massive reform. I'm not one of these social justice warriors, one of these woke people. I'm a libertarian. I want reform in favor of freedom, like revoke the 16th Amendment, the income tax, get rid of the Federal Reserve. Like, that's my way of, improving the world. One of the things that we might want to consider, Big Boss ROL puts hashtag Vince McMahon. Yeah, dude, but gross. The guy is gross. I don't know about that. Like, whether the allegations are true or not, my belief is that just in the way that people who are victims of crimes in the news, their identities are kept secret. I firmly believe that the same should happen to the accused until after the verdict comes out and the facts have been presented before a jury and decisions have been made, right? So, Carson Hunter, are you going to talk about wrestling? Well, I'm talking about Vince McMahon pooping on people's heads. So does that count as wrestling? I don't know. I don't think that's legal in wrestling. But he is a billionaire from the wrestling business, not competitive wrestling, from theatrical wrestling, performance wrestling, but nonetheless. So I think that, whether he's guilty or not, I'm going to wait until the jury comes out and all the evidence is presented. And even then I might read some of the depositions to come to my own conclusions. Okay. So, but the information is out there, what this woman is claiming, and it's gross. And it's not the first time. This is kind of like maybe a pattern. I don't know. But here's the problem. For me, ethics centers around consent. That's what libertarianism is. I actually think if libertarianism wanted to capture the whole woke movement, and I love libertarianism, but it's so weird. People call it conservative now. But I think the easy way would be call it consensualism instead of libertarianism, that you need to be able to consent. You need the individual's consent before anything happens. The income taken out of my paycheck, all that kind of stuff, right? All of it. That would solve crime. Every crime would be against consent. Murder, rape, theft, all of that. The IRS, all of it. So anyway, long story short, regardless of that ethical point, it brings up of consent, which I think is the cornerstone of ethics, whether it's business ethics, sportsmanship, just normal morality. It does bring up another point in ethics, and that is accountability. So let's assume that everything is said is true. Okay, let's just take that assumption, that scenario. I'm not saying it is. If it is, one, he's gross. And two, dude, don't be doing stuff that you can't be accountable for. I understand maybe making a mistake or getting, when you first get wealthy, getting drunk with power, making dumb moves. Okay, I'm not saying it's still right. I'm just saying that's understandable. But dude, you're like 80 years old, bro. You're 70 years old. And now who gave him the idea of this frickin' Snidely Whiplash look with the black hair and the pencil money? He looks like a villain, dude. He has to be conscious of this. Or he's losing his mind, one of the two. Or both. I mean, that would be Vince. Vince is a wild dude. So, I don't know, man. I think that, this is really not about the allegations. I don't know about all that. Maybe there's human trafficking. I don't know. I don't think that's the case here. I do think it's a case in, again, sorry for the pun, poor taste and lack of accountability. He should resign, and he shouldn't have come back during the merger. Remember, they kicked his ass out because he had all this hush money or whatever. To me, that reflects poorly on TKO. It reflects poorly on Ari Emanuel. It reflects poorly on Triple H. Listen, and I have respect for all these guys in these other. They just made a mistake. I'm not making a blanket dismissal of these people. But what I'm saying is that dude, if this stuff was coming down the pike and you have an accountability to the shareholders, dude. Vince is a massive liability. And it's fascinating, man. This is the first time ever in WWE history, 50 years of WWE, that no McMahon is employed by the corporation. Now, they just, as Stellar Stevens said, just dropped that $5 billion Netflix deal, right? That's amazing. I mean, The Rock, I'm not a huge fan of The Rock, so honestly, him being on the board brings down the value. I mean, dude, if that guy does to WWE or TKO what he did to Black Adam in the DC franchise, he had killed it, dude. Like, not a fan. It's cool. I'd love to rap with him about wrestling. We know some of the same people. I'd like to straighten some stories that he tells on video, that are just factually incorrect, and he refuses to correct them, like about Billy Robinson in particular. So anyway, to me, I don't know if he's guilty or innocent. I have no idea yet. I do think that this needs to go before a court and figured out. But dude, let's talk, man, about accountability, especially not even with Vince. Vince clearly is jacked up on testosterone and is a pervert. So, okay, that's assumed. What about the other people that are aware of this behavior? Yeah, you feel me? Okay, so to me, ethics in sport and in business is not just a buzzword. It's crucial that we live by these principles. Look, ethics goes bigger. So let's talk sportsmanship. Let's talk business. Let's talk medical ethics. All of them, the Nuremberg trials, right? This philosophical idea that came out of the Nuremberg trials, the Nuremberg Code, which was later codified into this idea of bioethical principlism, which is what I adhere to. First is beneficence, non-malfeasance, do no harm, informed consent, and fairness, right? Like 4 simple principles. I think they apply almost in every ethical situation. So, I think TKO needs to seriously look at their business ethics. And I'm not talking all this dumb DEI shit. That's not ethics. I'm sorry if that upsets you. I believe in individualism. I'm an adherent to the Martin Luther King version of individualism, that you need to judge a person by their merit, by their character, by the individual, and not some arbitrary thing like skin, gender, even creed. Right? These are all, to me, that's American. That's an American ideal, and it's dying out. Same with rugged individualism. So, as I say, I'm personally, and I don't know what you guys feel, I'm disappointed in TKO's response. Where's Dana White? Now he's part of this organization. Where's, all the people, nobody else has got something to say? Right? I'm not a fan of how the WWE has handled this. Now, that said, they are experts. They have been embroiled in scandal after scandal since at least the early 90s. That's when McMahon seemed to really go off, but maybe he was like this before. Anyway, I think it's important that we practice good sportsmanship, right? We all see these videos. Sometimes I post them in a wrestling context where there's this, it gets intense and then they start swinging. We've got to have a set of rules that are agreed upon where we meet on the field, where we meet in the marketplace as a prerequisite to entrance. Some of this is a gray area, meaning these are accusations. It hasn't gone through a court of law yet. We haven't seen the trial or anything like that. So, okay. And he could be guilty. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea of what's going on, just like the rest of us. So I'm not jumping to a conclusion until the evidence comes out. But it does offer a lesson, I think, in accountability. I don't know, man. And also there's also this, I think, especially in a post-COVID era and lockdowns, because that impacted business, impacted sports. How many athletes missed scholarships or weren't able to compete or do these time-sensitive events based on where you are in the school process. So I think that there's a lesson here on the role of the media as well. And the media is a business too. Like I said, wouldn't it make sense for it to be, I think, maybe more ethical for the media to withhold not just the innocent person, but the accused person until the end when all the evidence is out and the decision's been made? Because we don't know. He's being tried in the court of public opinion, and we don't know. It's just he said, she said. Nobody knows the facts, right? It's something to consider, right? And the thing is this is the saddest part. A guy like Vince McMahon, and all of us have made mistakes. All of us have regrets. All of us have done dumb things. Sadly, that's how you learn. But if you keep doing it, that's where it gets to be a problem. And here's what I see. Vince, like Morgan said, he's a maniacal genius, right? There's such thing as like good geniuses, evil geniuses, neutral geniuses, whatever. And it's a shame because the legacy, the entire McMahon legacy, has been destroyed effectively. It's a shame because now the company is no longer a McMahon company at all. There's nobody in management that has got the name McMahon. And, I think people will always recognize Vince as this guy, this architect that built this wildly successful entertainment company. It took risks and took chances. Okay. But now that entire legacy has been severely tarnished. Now, fortunately, he got the Netflix deal went through, all that stuff went through prior. And they're going to be playing a lot of putting fires out. And he left the company, which finally was the right thing to do. But then again, they brought him back. The last time this happened, just like a year ago, he left for like 6 months or something and came back. So, again, I don't feel like anybody can make a judgment fairly. It's not to say it's gross, and that part probably is true about him pooping on this poor person. But how bad is it if you're the one who accepted all the gifts, took the job, never said anything until the guy gets $8 billion? It's just gross all around. Stellar Steven says Vince was voted unanimously not to come back, but I'm sure Vince was a majority owner. Well, so that bodes well for TKO if that is in fact true. However, maybe they shouldn't have made that deal where Vince could just do whatever he wants. Clearly, he couldn't. Here's the thing, man. Freedom, which is what vast wealth gives people, in this world where we have groups like the World Economic Forum that are openly enemies to freedom, Klaus Schwab, the leader, says explicitly that libertarianism, an idea, a political party, this has been around for hundreds of years, is the enemy. Okay, so you're calling us the enemy, then I'm going to call you the enemy. Okay, it's just what it is. We live in this world where these people have got an enormous amount of wealth and are imposing things on us, right? I think the easiest litmus test for a government is that it should be held to the same standards it holds its citizens. If it's illegal for a citizen to kill, it should be illegal for the government to kill. If it's illegal for a citizen to steal, it should be illegal for the government to steal. This is a simple concept, this reciprocity, this fairness, okay? It's not complicated. It's actually so simple and just makes so much logical sense. It's like 2 + 2 is 4, right? Not the new math, like real math. So, where I am concerned is we are getting to the point now where the only escape, meaning the only way to stay free, is to become wealthy. However, as you get that freedom and responsibility are the same thing. They're two sides of the same coin. You can't have one. So again, if we want to rebrand libertarianism, because it's just a dumb name, it's awful branding. And if we were to try to market it to the woke community, we could call it consensualism. Everything needs to be individually consensual for it to happen to the individual. But another way that we could posit it is, instead of libertarianism, call it responsibilitarianism. Then you start looking at the Bill of Rights, not as you're owed it, as maybe instead a bill of duties, that a responsibility to stand up for free speech, to stand up for freedom of assembly, to stand up for self-defense, the Second Amendment, to stand up for the right to a jury trial and not to have your name slandered and libeled in the press before a verdict is determined. Does this make sense? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' view on this, because this all dovetails with sportsmanship. I look at business as a sport. And so business ethics, to me, falls within the domain of good sportsmanship. And what is good sportsmanship? How would you define good sportsmanship? I'm just curious if you guys have any perspective on this, or if you even care. To me, I think it's important. It's not just fodder for the news and the dinner table for us to make jokes, although there are great jokes about McMahon right now. Anyway, that aside, whatever you guys want to talk about, I was just in Tampa. I literally flew in and – came in here, got my cup of coffee, and then, I don't know, 2 hours ago, got my 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 2 hours ago, turned this on because I wanted to address this and reach you guys and talk to you guys about it. Now, to me, I had a great time in Florida. A guy who reached out to me, he was like, "Oh, hey man, I was told that that I should reach out to you." His name is J. Brian Miles, because he is doing a concept that's derivative of what I've been doing since 2007. That is competitive grappling under professional wrestling rules. We started in a tournament format with King of Catch Wrestling back in 2007. We were able to graduate to this more invitational style. And that was done in 2000, I want to say 18, 19. I'll have to look at when we started it. And it's been fantastically popular. People love it. I've gotten so many views, all that stuff, right? Anyway, went yesterday. Jay Bryan is taking that concept and doing it down in Tampa. Did it with this organization, Division Pro Wrestling, which is it was a work, meaning scripted organization, pro wrestling organization, that is transitioning over to shoots. And they did the show yesterday, which to me wasn't a shoot show. Just gonna be real. Even though I was asked to judge, I'm sitting there judging. I'm like, okay, these guys are working. Maybe your casual wouldn't be able to understand it, but I could see it. But that said, it's right now. I would call that a work shoot. And then the next step, very similar to what Pancras did, is then they just drop the work shoot and everything is a straight shoot, right? What's up, William Chumley? Says, good sportsmanship, Billy from Montgomery, Alabama. I think when you check Handsome, we could tell her about the football field and hour to send Cannon a hug. Everything is good for Portland. Dude, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Somebody illuminate that for me. Stellar Stevens, sportsmanship between promotions is all here on Wrestling News. Optics overshadows the shows, unfortunately. Yeah. IDK for real, yo. Are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? All right, guys. So anyway, I do have a client call here shortly. I'm going to jump. I would love to see you guys. Stellar Stevens, this means very little lately, but I feel there's been so many creative fumbles for years. I got fatigued from past angles that sucked. Yeah, this is the challenge, right? I can't watch WWE. I have these moments where I try, and there's these moments, these like a couple months where somebody gets in charge of creative and it's actually good. Where that's usually been for me is on NXT. I actually have enjoyed that, right? Chumley says, one more comment, is Brock Lesnar, she really that weak? I don't know what you're saying, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Stellar Steven, even though the wrestlers are great, athletes are great. I know many of them, fantastic people. The writing needs to change. The product needs to change. And in fact, I am wanting to be that change. This is the concept of shoot pro wrestling that I've had for ages. What really inspired me, so, UFC inspired me in the beginning. Well, it was Bruce Lee originally, right? And I guess we could keep going back. It was wrestling. Pee Wee Wrestling inspired me. And then it was Karate Kid. Then it was Bruce Lee. Then I went to UFC 2. Decided I need to do something with my life with this. Decided as I was experimenting with jiu-jitsu that wrestling was better. This is in the late 90s already. I'm testing it out and finding holes in it. And boy, wrestling's amazing. I start fooling around, trying to learn everything about the business, go into pro wrestling, have some modest success. See Sakuraba, learn about, catch as catch can. It pulls everything together for me. Everything together for me. I'm like mind blown, right? Who's your favorite Iowa Hawkeye wrestler? I don't really have a favorite right now as long as they're not betting on the outcomes. Getting in trouble and throwing the Brants are really, really having a hard time, man. Yeah, I don't know if that answers you. But the thing is this, man, like, I can't watch it. And so 2005 comes around and I see Real Pro Wrestling. This is where I first see Daniel Cormier, where I first see King Mo. Actually, King Mo was the one that stood out. Had this rad afro, crushed everybody, just was like a stud, right? So, but there's a couple problems with Real Pro Wrestling. There was no pro wrestling. I love that name. Fantastic name. Shoot Pro Wrestling is close. Okay. But Real Pro Wrestling basically just was taking a hybrid of folk style and freestyle rules, putting on a set that looked like American Gladiators, and then wondering why people wouldn't tune in. Because the rule set is too obscure. It didn't have the same danger that you find in like MMA, which to me was the big competitor at the time. Okay. So it fizzles out. It goes like one season and a half, maybe two, but that second season it was like dead. And it was on like a nobody channel. Nobody saw it. But I was there. I went to the tapings. Matt Case actually gave me tickets. It was fantastic. It was in LA, 2005, I want to say. And that further inspired me. Then I'm like, dude, Real Pro Wrestling. Ding, 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 ding. I'm deep in Catch as Catch Can. I'm deep in Sakuraba. I'm deep in pro wrestling. I'm deep in UFC. And it all comes together, but different. Not Real Pro Wrestling. Needs to be actual real professional wrestling. Meaning competitive grappling done under the rule set of pro wrestling. And that's Catch as Catch Can. So you go back and look at documents from that era. 2003 was when the company was started. 2005 is when I launched the membership website, which back then nobody had sites on the internet that were membership gated and you had to pay to get. 2005, okay, long time ago, like almost 20 years ago. On those old sites, you can see the banners had Scientific Wrestling, which was phase 1, which was what I was in 2005. Phase 2 was King of Catch Wrestling, which started in 2007, and went for another 10 years. And then I called it PCW, but I didn't have a better name, Pro Catch Wrestling. Finally, I was like ready to go, and I started thinking about the branding. Shoot Pro Wrestling. This is a concept whose time has come. I've done 3 shows. I did a full tag team tournament. We've done triple shoots, which are like a triple threat. We've done singles matches, all of it, and it all works amazing. So now I've got a team, including Pat Miletich, King Mo, helping me actually put this on a bigger stage. If you guys know people in the business, you guys know sponsorship partners, you know broadcasting partners, you know distribution partners, DM me, connect me with them, set up a 3-way conversation, a digital introduction, whatever, because I am hell-bent on doing this. That's part of the reason I went to Tampa. It was me and a couple other of my partners, Matt and Blake, who are helping me with this project as well. We're going to blow this up. It's just, dude, when I put my mind to something, it's going to happen. And I got some other people that are very, very willful and very smart involved now too. So I believe Shoot Pro is the future of the business. I think there will always be space for the worked part. Undeniably. That's, if you look at just the valuations of that Endeavor paid, WWE is twice the value of UFC, $4 billion versus $8 billion, right? But I think that Shoot has a seat, has the opportunity for a seat at the table, and this is competitive combat sports promoted like pro wrestling. Do you understand the difference? UFC is promoted like boxing. Do you know what I mean? This would be, in my mind, almost a continuation of Pride, but we could get rid of the athletic commissions because it's wrestling and grappling. There's no striking. It's an exciting concept. Again, the shows work. You can go to shootprowrestling.com. I have all the matches there. You can click them, the triple shoots, the tag team tournaments, the singles matches. I hope I have some women's matches on there too. So, guys, I would love it if you could help me with that. I would love to see you in the room. We've got such a great accelerator. Karshiyuvamidid John 3. Are you Muslim, brother? I am not Muslim. No. I don't even know what I am. I was born a Catholic, but I don't know how much of that is. I don't really. I'm not a practicing Catholic. I don't really call myself a Catholic. I don't believe some of the things they ask me to believe. I don't think the Pope is infallible. So I would say that I'm spiritual. I do have strong beliefs, but I'm not. I'm not a subscriber to any one religion. The reason is this. I don't mean to take a tangent on religion, but a lot of people confuse ethics and religion. To me, religion seems to be like following the spiritual path of another person, whether it's Joseph Smith, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and that's cool. I think we can learn from those guys, but I'm not going to do their path. I'm going to do my own path. I've got my own life, my own experiences, my own lessons to learn in this life, and the things I might want to pass on or think that are important that might be slightly different. I don't think the Pope is infallible. So I am not a Catholic. There's a sect called Old Catholicism, and it was a break off, happened like in the 1800s or something, when that papal decree came out saying that the Pope was infallible. Maybe I might buy into that, but still, I don't believe in some of the stories. You know what I mean? So, Moses, all these guys had these spiritual experiences. Cool. I'll learn from them, but yeah, it's not mine. Does that make? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, Karshiyuvamidjib. I don't understand. If I could speak more slowly. Sorry, buddy. It's just how I speak. I appreciate you, though. William Chumley. You are bad at what you are. I am. I forget it out in a heartbeat. You're a Baptist church member. Dude. Okay, Chumley, dude. I can't communicate with you if you can't. I mean, even this guy, Karshiyamida John or whatever, is clearly from someplace like Iran or something, and his English is comprehensible. Okay? Stellar Stephen, he's not Muslim. He's spiritual, he says. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah, thanks, dude. All right, guys, I'm going to jump. I would love to see you guys at an accelerator camp. King Mo is going to be in Louisiana. I got Jesse Merez. Dude, this guy is fantastic. What we do with scientific wrestling is we turn people on to people that you don't know about. And they're usually the best. It is what it is. We don't go with the standard thing, right? So, just reading some of these comments. I'm not even going to read them. Okay, well, so Karshi is given like a raised eyebrow face to Stellar Stephen. I don't know. Stellar Stephen, thank you for translating. Chumley, bro, you are cool. I like you. Will be a good friend to me, but what I hear by professional wrestling, it's fake. Yes, it's predetermined. It's like being a stunt person. Is being a stunt person fake? I mean, I don't know. They're getting beat up, getting killed, going to the hospital. So it's not fake in that sense. Is it a sport? No, it's not a sport. It's theater. It's very physical, injury-prone theater, dangerous theater. Anthony Verdon jumping up with some love. Thanks, brother. Says, love your stuff. Keep up the good work. Anthony, I'd love to see you, man, out at a camp. We got him in Hawaii. Me and Wade are going out there, going into Canada. It's going to be me and Jesse Merez. So, you guys are maybe more familiar with Sam because Sam's been going with me on trips forever and been hosting camps. He's a scientific wrestling elite coach. And Sam's not going anywhere. He's just hustling, making money with his art. And he is going to be, as well as Luis Ojeda, another scientific wrestling elite coach. The winningest catch wrestler in the modern era, by the way, is Luis. And the longest wrestling. He's been competitive in catch since 2007. National champion, multi-time tournament champion, still competing. I mean, he's got to be almost 50. He was just at Josh Barnett's tournament and placed. Let's see here. Got a bunch of comments jumping on. Sullivan, Chiefs Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know, dude. I watch college football. I don't really get too much in this. I'll watch the Super Bowl for the halftime. Sorry about that, but that's the truth. Abhishek 29. What are the books will you recommend to? Go to fightinglibrary.com. That's all the classic books on combat sports that were otherwise out of print that I reprinted. Say Uncle, Physical Chess, which is Billy Robinson's book. There's a lot of great ones out there, man. Stellar Stephen. I got one of Sam's skull paintings. Yeah, dude, he's a great artist. Great artist. So you can go and have a camp with Sam. These are all BJJ Fanatics instructors. By the way, all three of my instructionals are bestsellers now. I appreciate you guys. Catch Wrestling Takedowns, Catch Wrestling Submissions, and the Nelson Hold. Amya, That Pretty Girl, as an 187.8 girl who placed into a weight division class of 235, can you give me advice on how to get them down? I personally can't properly shoot with these girls. Okay, so here's what I would recommend. I don't know you. I don't know. Are you tall? I don't know a lot about you. I don't know what you're good at. I'm not a fan of shooting, but that's because I'm tall for me. And in particular, when there's a big weight disparity like that, you don't want to change your level and get underneath them unless you're super duper fast and good, like you got a crazy ankle pick or something. So what I would try to do is these are big, strong people that you're wrestling against. I would start thinking about how can I hand fight into something that gives me a advantage, that gets me like an arm drag into a single leg or something like that, and then run the pipe. What is something when I can get on a collar tie and I can get her weight? I don't know if I'd want to get into a pummel with some of these girls that are that much bigger. I don't know if that helps. I'd love to see if you came to a camp. All right. Again, you can go to coachingcatch.com. You can see the entire roster. You can see the schedule. We're going to be in Hawaii. I'm working on a camp in Italy. I'd love to see you guys out in Europe. Now, what else? The affiliate program. That's the smartest buy. Right now, we have 17 affiliates. We did that in our first 18 months. Crazy, dude. This is, if you really care about Catch as Catch Can, and you care about the mission that I started and all the people that have followed myself, like what's happening with Division Pro, what's happening with Snake Pit Wigan, all these people who have taken inspiration or gotten the idea or decided to join on the mission of scientific wrestling, and that is to bring back competitive Catch as Catch Can, professional wrestling under competitive grappling under professional wrestling rules. The greatest way that you can get involved that has the most benefit for you is by becoming an affiliate gym. This is why 17 people, like the second I turned it on, we hadn't done it for 20 years. All of a sudden I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. Boom, almost 20 people instantly gone in a year and a half. Okay. When we hit 25, which is coming around the bend, you can extrapolate the math, probably in 6 months or so. It's going to go up in price. It's going to go up $5,000. And dude, I want your help. So I've made it affordable. We've broken it down into easy payments. It doesn't go on forever. There's a lot of affiliates, programs, you join them and you got to pay $300-400 a month forever. You pay the affiliate fee and then it's done and you pay a one-time $495 a year. Dude, that's like less than $50 a month after you pay off the initial. And I give you resale rights. We're redoing everything. So it's going to be so easy to just, if you have any kind of internet following, if you have a gym, to have these people make the money that I make. I'm giving you the complete commission on the product. I don't even make money now if you're an affiliate. This is how this is going to grow, is by making you guys successful. You get 10x business coaching. Do you realize for a year of this, people pay well over it's like over $12,000 to get coaching by me. Okay, and this is not in wrestling. This is or this is in business, and it has nothing to do with wrestling, right? So that comes included. You get tuition for 2 to get your coaching cert. That's $5,000 a piece. That's another $10,000 $10,000. So now we're talking $22,000. Then you get the resale rights. Whatever you sell my stuff for, you get. So that's an infinite amount of money. That's on you. And I will help you with the business coaching. Get it. You get a Mayspell cert. We're putting that together. I'm so excited, actually. I'm going to make this quick announcement. Starting to work with Tom Billinge from War Yoga, as well as Rick Brown. These are guys who actually have traveled to India and done the physical culture from the Gada, the mace, as well as all of the Hindu wrestling from the Akharas in India. You're going to be able to get certified as in that as well. So not only can you teach wrestling, you can teach fitness classes. Dude, this is just an insane offer. I don't know what to tell you. Then you can also start running your own King of Catch wrestling tournaments. You're sanctioned. The only rule set co-developed by Carl freaking Gotch. Dude, this is a really good deal. I don't know what to tell you. And it goes up $5,000. The next, when we hit 25 affiliates, we're at 17. When we hit 25, it's going to go up. Then it's going to go up again. After the next 10 affiliates, it's going to go up probably another $5,000. Till eventually it'll hit $25,000, and it will still be an insane bonus and deal. And I will still offer financing. You can get in right now. It's just for like a couple grand down, and then you pay monthly payments till the thing's paid off. And I finance it. You don't even got to put it on your credit card. I mean, you could put the down payment on your credit card, but you don't have to put the rest of it. No interest on that. scientificwrestler.com is where you figure that out. All right, guys, I'm going to jump. I got to prep for this client. I always appreciate you. Hit me up in the DMs if I can help you. If you know somebody that can help with Shoot Pro Wrestling, in particular, distribution partners, broadcasting partners, that's what we're really, really looking for. As well as if you want to come to the camp, you want to train with guys, we got Pat Miletich, dude. This guy's arguably the greatest MMA coach in terms of turning out champions. You're going to get in the room, and he's in Iowa. He's wrestling based. Matt Hughes. Like, dude, you need if I could reach through the screen and grab you and make you go, I would, because I know it's the best thing for you. I know it because I've been doing it for 15 years. I've seen the effect on all the people that get associated with scientific wrestling. Even the fucking haters, pardon my language, it lifts them up. It's like magic, dude. I'm just telling you, no brainer. Get to camp, become an affiliate. Help me get Shoot Pro on the big. I'm swinging for the fences here, guys. I'm thinking like big. All right, guys, I appreciate the hell out of you. Have a fantastic day. I'm a little exhausted. I don't know if you can tell my memory is going. This is one thing I've noticed when I don't get sleep. I still got to help some clients today. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I got to pick up my kids. Got to take my daughter. She got a part in the Mean Girls musical here in Denver. So I got a lot to go today before I can catch some rest. I appreciate the hell out of you.